What's up? All right, so we got a Malibu. We are going to be doing full thing. 5 on the back, 35 on the front doors, and 50% on the windshield. Oh, what's that? That's hanging down there. Always look out for stuff like that. So again, if you have any questions, leave them in the comments. And we're going to get started here. But we're doing full carbon, which is nice. Nice job. What up? All right, so I'm going to get this going. And, hey, sweet. Looks like everything's connected. Yo, what's cracking? Headphones good. Hey! Thank you. Something worked, so we got some fog. There we go. Now I hear it. All right, so we're gonna flip this back ultra wide, flip, and then click this button, mirror, and then mirror. Ba-ba! All right, we're seeing comments. I'm not hearing anything yet, but I am seeing them. So keep commenting, and we're gonna get started here. First thing we're gonna do is we're gonna tape up the side seals. I like to do this for a couple of reasons, mainly this type of stuff. So these are rubber seals. These are not brand new. Doesn't mean that they're bad. You could take a towel and wipe them in there. I tend to like to do this instead. So we're gonna tear off some pieces of tape here. And the main purpose of this is it's gonna help keep that kind of trash from just floating into the sides. So I've done quite a few different seals at this point, and it always seems to turn out better when I do this. My earbuds died right as you went live. Rip. All right, chat's working. What ceramic tint do you recommend for the front windshield? I like Pro Nano by GeoShield. As far as shades go, 35 it looks really nice, and it's pretty dark looking, but it blocks out a good amount of glare. Wow, my car's locked. Now we're gonna unlock it. 50 on the windshield is what I currently drive around with. Turn on, there we go. But 35 was like my favorite. I just always got a little nervous driving around with 35. Can you come to New York to teach? No, but we do have classes here. So somebody just asked, when are you going to be offering classes? The dates are posted on the site. So if you're interested, you can go to 313tint.com and check that out. I think we got some Bluetooth connected. Hey, can you tell him he's got his phone connected to the car?
What's up, dog?
All right, so we're gonna roll these up. What kind of tape are you using? This is called Seal Guard. Wow, that camera, look at that. Look at how weird that, woo, woo. But yeah, we have class dates listed on 313tint.com. I tint because of you. Thank you. I hope it's going well. I've been trying to tint my Hummer H3 front windows for a week now. Hummers are never super fun. Getting them cut, like getting an H3 or H2, like either one of those cut was always kind of annoying just because their front doors have some like weird window shapes. The H3 was a little bit easier, but still kind of funny. What is that for? So we're taping the side seals. This is going to help keep extra dirt out of the sides. I'll show you in a second here. So let's get this rolled up. This type of dirt, honestly, it wasn't as bad on this back window. On the rest of the doors it was. How much is the rent for that place? $3,400. I signed a lease in 2020, but I wasn't sure how it was going to work out. And then things ended up working out well. So I came to the end of my 2-year lease. And then I had to re-sign a lease. And then he jacked the rent up $1,000. I just found out I'm gonna have my 7th kid. Oh my God, that's a lot of kids. I come from a family of 6 kids, and my wife comes from a family of 8. We have 2, and we're good. All right, so now that those are taped, just gonna wipe down the outside of the windows here. So we're gonna put some tint right over it. Overall, kind of dusty, but cleans up really fast. So if your car's ever come in a state like this, like, see all this extra dirt on the back here? It's not a big deal. Glass cleans up fairly quickly. So we're gonna start with we're doing 35 in the front. We're gonna start with a 36-inch roll. This is why I still like doing 36-inch rolls instead of 20. Because 20 split in half, it's easier to handle. But 20 or 40 split in half is 20 and 20. 36, whoa! Thank you. Is that a TikTok gift? Appreciate it. Cut that. But a 36 split in half is 18 and 18. And so on your average 4-door car or coupe, you can take this, take your snitty cutter, tint safety cutter, and split this in half right on the car. And then you have 18 and 18. I use a plotter, and 40s and 20s seems to save me material. Plotters is the only hack around that. So if you're hand cutting, it would be really hard to kind of Tetris everything, because we do have some extra material here that can be used. I'll save that for some quarter windows if I'm doing the car in all in one shade. But you're right, if you're plotter cutting it, 40s are gonna save you a little bit more film on average. So we'll start with this bottom cut, just so we have this nice and matched up. We're gonna go to either the front or the back. When we're cutting, aye! Is that a YouTube one? I think we're getting some TikTok stuff. Thank you. Need to make sure your blade is snapped, but this is how much blade I'm gonna leave out. Thank you. What the hell is that smoke? It's just some TikTok juice. Des, thank you so much for all the gifts. I appreciate it. Thank you. Woo. That deserves this. Bong. All right, we're gonna slide it back over. We want to create a little bit of an overlap on the sides and a little bit of an overlap at the bottom. The bottom overlap, you don't need to pull your tint down very far. You want to pay attention to the seals on the inside. So these are pretty matched up. So if I pull this all the way down to the bottom of this chrome, I'd be trying to tuck my film really far into that seal. It would make it really difficult. So if you only pull it down a short amount, thank you, then you're at a good distance. Why does it keep spraying? Because there's people on TikTok. It doesn't show your full name on the screen. Des keeps donating. Thank you. I appreciate it. GG. 69 GGs. Appreciate you. And then for this top cut, we'll pull out the carbon blade. It seems to be working fine with TikTok. Tear those away, and we're gonna take this pattern. Why not just take out that seal? That is the alternative. You could pull back. You take back the, oh, there it is. Desobedient 69, thank you. No, it's not annoying. I appreciate it. I set them up because they're fun. So you definitely can pull the seal and tint them that way. Seals are fairly easy to pull out on the Malibus as well. I'm so used to not pulling stuff. So Malibus are like my favorite car to tint. So that's why, thank you. I appreciate it. Are we on YouTube? Yes, we are on YouTube. The Malibu, I think, is a pretty easy one to take out. I think you can just like pull the panel back a little bit, pop out the seal. I'm just so used to not doing it that I generally don't. Shit's going wild. I wonder if it's trying to catch up with all the individual ones. Because at some point, it can't handle quite that many in a row. So we'll just, we'll break it. That's what we'll do. It's like the Undertaker vibes. What brand? Okay, I'll stop. It's all good. What brand of tint? We're using Geo. This is their C2 carbon. The bong sound effects. That's the Undertaker. I betcha he'll come through that door eventually. or this one. It's one or the other. We're either getting the Undertaker or we're getting Taco Bell. All right, let's grab our C2 5%. So we're doing 35 on the front, 5 on the rear. Don't you love GIFs? Yeah, they're fun. I figured out what the value is. For TikTok, it was kind of weird. YouTube's just got a dollar amount. TikTok is like TikTok coins to different stuff. Don't stop, never stop. We might have to get a respirator though. If you guys need to open the door, it's fine. Is it getting a bit much? What? Oh no. I think we're gonna have to open the door. We're probably gonna have to change the limit and open the garage door at this point. It almost works too well. All right, we're gonna trim off our excess. Cut one side. So this side here, I have this much blade out. They're definitely, they can't even keep up right now. They're like, all right, let me open up the door. It's quick dissipating, but it becomes a little stuffy. I think that's gonna help with the temperature, but it is getting a little stuffy. Okay, little overlap on the right side. Was that a fog machine? It was. We have them hooked up to Super Chats and TikTok GIFs. Something I've done a while back. And then it's been a long time since they've been up there, but I think we've worked out most of the bugs. We're gonna roll this down. Do you like chorizo on your burrito? Would you hate me if I don't really know what that is?
It's a spicy sausage.
Oh, it's a spicy sausage.
It's delicious.
Mark likes it.
It's like a breakfast sausage, Mexican food.
Oh, okay. I might have had it. I honestly have no idea.
Chorizo quesadillas are a thing.
Okay. Quesadillas are the best when they're crispy.
Super greasy.
We're gonna slice this off. So on these door windows, you have this little edge here, and then you have this other top edge. So when I cut my sides, I cut this, and I cut this, and then I save this part and that part for the top edge. Can you say hi to Blair? No. Do you know what expel is? What is that? Please. All right, we're gonna round this corner. Malibus are one of my favorites to do. It's just everything about them is really straightforward. How many blades do you go through a day? I tend to go through like a full blade per car. or near to it, and more if we're doing like a removal or something like that. What's your favorite race? I couldn't even tell you a race name. Maybe Mario Kart. But you want to snap your blades fairly often. Stainless is a pretty soft metal, so anytime you're making a cut, you're starting to dull out that tip a little bit. I'm gonna pull this, and magically we have 2 patterns. This is gonna go on the other side, and then I like to go around and shrink them one after the next. I tend to do all my doors, cut them all, shrink them all, and then install them all, and then I'll do the back window, front windshield. I should get those prepped at some point. That way, when I get to the back window, I'm not waiting on that drying. Have you ever thought about getting a tint cutter? A tint cutter, you say? Maybe. I've thought about getting some type of cutting machine, but I don't know. What's the benefit to hand cutting versus machine cutting? Biggest benefit is going to be accuracy on the hand cutting side. And the benefit to machine cutting is it saves you some time. So you can employ a new person and have them use there we go. Have them cut out your patterns for you. So that way when you need to just shrink and install them, they're kind of ready to go. What I don't like about them is accuracy. So it just depends. Some patterns work better than others. You have no idea how funny that sounds right now. Fog machines aren't working. Why not? Interesting. Huh. I wonder if we broke the software. Oh, we'll reconnect TikTok. I don't know why TikTok disconnected, but that might be why. Oh, God. If anything, it was good because it gave me a small break here. And there it is. Thank you, appreciate it. I need like a big TikTok monitor window, I think. There's one, and then we're gonna snap the other one. Right like that. That's all you need to do to shrink the door windows. So when you have this pull up like that, that's what you're looking for. Right like that. Where am I looking here? I still don't understand TikTok GIFs as much, so it doesn't do a very good job showing them. But Des, thank you for all the GIFs, and thank you to anybody else that sent anything. What's the purpose of shrinking the side windows? Your film is flat, and the glass has a curve to it. So you need to curve and mold the shape of the tint to fit that curve on the glass. I thought you said when your stream was going to I thought you said when you're on stream, you're going to refill the keg. Well, maybe. I might have said that. I refill it when I need to. So I started it, and we're still using slip solution from yesterday. But it is a little low. Let me finish this window, and we'll see how it goes. Because if anything, I should add some more air pressure to it. Seems like it's going to beat okay, though. Or sheet. I've never shrunk the side windows. I'll try it on the next vehicle. If you ever have fingers that pop up, that's why you're going to want to shrink. So some way to mitigate not needing to shrink as much is if you pull the bottom seals, what happens is you free up an area to help distribute your film a little more evenly. So you can press all the water past the film, where leaving the seals in causes water to still collect there. Makes it a little harder. Makes it a little harder to lock everything down without shrinking at all. But there's always windows that you have to shrink. So you got to look at it this way. If you don't shrink your door windows ever, there's going to be door windows that you need to. Or you're going to start having some fingers here and there pop up on the inside that might ruin your job. So I tend to shrink everything. I definitely do have that issue. That's why we don't like to leave any steps out. Okay, wipe that off, and then we're going to squeegee this out. Question. Yes. Francisco, what's up? Where can I buy a sprayer? I have a plastic one, and I need to upgrade. We have the 3-gallon kegs for sale. 313tint.com. Take this, and then we're going to peel this. We're going to buy the plastic things. We're going to get, it's getting fogged. Thank you. Is that a gift? It was a TikTok gift. I appreciate it. What's for lunch today? I actually had a little bit of sushi at home. We thought this was going to be a 10 o'clock appointment, and I don't know. Calendly is a big piece of crap. We were using that for our scheduling. I was using something different before, but I can't use what I was using before. And so a lot of websites were using Calendly. And man, I just don't like it. It's been nothing but annoying. Is that ceramic? This is carbon. So we're doing 35% on the front doors. And we're doing 50 on the windshield, which is a little late to book a full appointment. The appointment said it was for the sides and the rear, but I guess we're doing full with the windshield. When I order GeoShield from, where do I order GeoShield from? It's not available on their website. Of course it's available on their website. But you can also order it from 313tint.com. Should I use a heat gun? Yes. Heat guns are best. Whoa! Sound effect. I need to have that play with it. We'll have them pop out of the back room. Yeah, geoshield.biz or geoshield US or geoshieldusa.biz. or geoshieldUSA.com. That's their like official website. They merged them. I think I had my shank and then I dropped it. Where did it go? I know I did. I picked it up. I dropped it. There it is. Hey! Thank you. Is that more TikTok gifts? That's like the funniest time to do it. If you're gonna do it, do it now or do it during the windshield. We're getting shielded by 35%. That's so funny. Tuck, tuck, tuck. See, it's that easy for me to tuck these windows, so that's why especially I just don't see the point in pulling the seals. So if you install this way, there's this little point to removing a lot of seals. It's totally fine to remove them in bottom load though. It's just a difference. Can't wait to see you start the windshield. No kidding. Thank you. Appreciate it. That looks so cool. That was a pretty good spot to put them. Love it. All right, we'll wipe this off. Did we get any fog? Get any fog in the tint? Why is it doing that? It's hooked up to TikTok gifts. Right now, there's like no limits on it. It's hooked up to TikTok gifts and YouTube super chats. So that's why it's doing that. I took off the limits though, for the time being, to really put it through its paces and just like have fun. So it's probably costing me more in fog fluid than we're making back on gifts. I know, right? Worth it. It's good fun. Where in Detroit are you located at? Sterling Heights. Look, you can see it through the 5%. The people just scrolling by are going to be like, is that on fire? Oh my God, the car's on, oh my God. Then like viewership just like shoots up. LOL, dumbass tinter lit a car on fire. Okay, now we're gonna swap out the keg. Or at least charge it up. It's got a taste to it. That's probably not great. English or Spanish? So we're gonna open this. Oh, if there isn't enough high-pitched things. We're gonna dump this water out. If anything, I think the water is okay. We just needed some more air. But still, if we're gonna go and do this, I tend to just swap it out really quick. I gotta finish my back window. We'll get to this one. So while I'm waiting for this to fill up, I'm gonna go ahead and prep the back window. WTF. Don't worry about it. It keeps my windows clean. What's the best football team? You all watch football? Okay, so first thing we're gonna do, we're gonna scrub the back window. You don't use distilled water. Not right now. As long as you're around clean water, you're fine. We do have a DI system that we're gonna hook up. We just still have to get it hooked up. Where do you get the scrub from? This is called the Tri-Edge Scrub It. This is at 313tint.com. This goes on way too often.
I'm out of here.
Okay.
Have a happy 4th of July.
All right, you too. Well, try not to pass out.
I'll be watching it.
Just stop moving for like 10 minutes. What are we going to do in the wintertime? It's either going to be freezing or we're going to need some type of vacuum system. Shit. That's a nice sound, right? Okay, so I'm going to outline my window. Everybody always asks, where do I place it? The inside edge of the tape is on the outside edge of the dots. So I want to be able to see the dots. It's not that it like 100% has to be exactly there. I just want to know that if I cut anywhere on this tape, I'm not going to miss any of my edges. So I don't want a gap. So there, that's good. Keg is overflowing. So we're going to dump out just a little water. So on the keg, I like to fill it right up to about here. And then we'll take our slip solution. This is a 1 ounce measuring cup or 30 milliliters. Fill that up. And I'll dump 3 of those into my keg. It doesn't hurt to do a little extra, so keep that in mind. If anything, it would be a little too slippery, and then you could adjust and back off a little bit. Shake, shake, shake. And then we have our air compressor right here. Hands soapy. So just like filling a tire, we're gonna loosen up that. And it's gonna put up to 90 PSI in it from that air compressor right up there. Does the glassade affect the shrinking process? It can a little bit. If you have like a practice car, you can definitely just practice without it. What it does is it keeps the edges raised a little bit, and some people don't understand. It doesn't screw it up, but some people don't understand exactly what they're looking for. So it'll give the impression that sometimes it wasn't quite shrunk, when realistically it definitely was. TikTok, why you disconnect all the time? Click that. Okay, TikTok's back. Does business slow down for you during the winter? Business can slow down at any time, but yeah. It's like people buying summer clothes. Hey, thank you. It's like people buying summer clothes in wintertime. It's just, there's certain things that people naturally do, and getting their cars tinted while it's freezing cold outside isn't necessarily the most popular thing. People still get it done. You just can sometimes have less people get it done. Thank you. Thank you for the gifts. You guys are so nice. Okay, so on this window, if we look through the fog, you can see a little bit of beading. So if I spray it heavy, you can see it for a second. The water will sheet. We got a little water there. Let's wipe that off. So that's sheeting, and then when it drips down really fast, that's beading. So one thing that you can do is light your fog on fire, checking if it's flammable or not. Wait, let me move the tint. We're gonna take the torch. Let's move this out of the way. And so if you ever use the same amount of slip solution and you're like, hey, my film just isn't sliding, just do this. Be careful of your paneling. So we're gonna get close, and the window can still be wet, which I like because then you're less likely to burn anything. But we'll go over that and check it now, and now everything is sheeting evenly in seconds, which I really, really like. I've tried scrubbing compounds, I've tried other stuff. Nothing has quite cut it yet. And a torch just, I love how it just comes through there. I haven't found anything else that works quite the same and as easily. So I razored it too because I forgot if I razored that window or not. You don't have to do that in that order. We're just gonna like burn up these fog machines, man. TikTok's going hard. There's definitely like a taste in the air now. We're gonna have to put a limit on. We're not even 2 windows in. All right, so to install this, we're gonna start with this edge here. Let this other edge kind of hang back. And then we're gonna roll our tint up and just gently push this over into our side seal. Sorry, I paused. If I didn't pause, sometimes it would just slide right away. The longer you let your tint sit in one spot, the more likely it is to start to lock up. So that's where that slip solution balance comes into play. So we're gonna line up that corner, line up that top edge, looking good. I think we're gonna have to crank it up. We're gonna have to put a minimum on TikTok. I don't really want to, but I think we have to. People abusing like the 1 coin gift. Roll that up. And then we're gonna pull out our liner here. Tuck that corner in. Tuck this corner in. Roll that up. And then you pull back your seal. And then tuck, tuck, tuck. There you go. Okay, I'll send 10. I wasn't sure the value. I know $5 is like 300. So like we're like I think sub pennies right now. What's a smoke machine for? It helps keep my tint clean. Can 1 coin be the Undertaker? It could be. I think it'd be a bit much though. Dong. Or bang. Hang on, I had a preset here. I'm gonna go in. I'm gonna change this really quick. Oops, wrong button. So we're gonna go to alerts. We're gonna change this. No. Undertaker or Taco Bell. We'll turn this one We'll edit this one. I gotta set it. We'll set it to 99. There we go. We like to have fun here. Oh shit! He sent a cowboy hat. There are no limits now. Taker bell. I like that. That's clever. How long should I wait to clean my windows after tint? You can wipe them down immediately. Just don't roll them down. How about this one?
Ugh. Brother, ugh.
Brother, ew.
What's that?
I could have
What's
added
that,
that one.
brother?
I didn't yet, though. All right, we're gonna start on this rear door right here. Are y'all busy this week? Thank you. Oh, damn. That was a big one. We'll get a blade over here. We might have to take the torch over there as well. Appreciate it. Dez, thank you so much for the hat. Look, see, I would be there, but I'm not. That would have been me. Oh, I remember what I wanted to bring. We're gonna bring the door cover as well. Probably put it back here though. Are rears 35 as well? No, the rears on this one are 5. 35 on the front, 5 on the rear. You're making more money than tinting. With TikTok pennies. I'm TikTok penny rich. It's the new MPC stream. Hey! Fog machine sales just went up. How many cars can you tint a week? We generally set 1 or 2 aside for a day. We could tint more than that, but everything else suffers if we do. Like having time to do these streams. That's part of the, that's one of the main reasons why I even set up this place. And then we're gonna pull this down. Spray. And we're gonna lift and then install. Push that over. Thank you, appreciate it. We're gonna push this back and the other way. With all the smoke, you're gonna attract this Subaru WRX. We might. Tint slip didn't work super well for me. It got hot. Do you recommend more slip solution or climate controlled? Okay, so the issue is going to be kind of what you're tinting. So if you're using like a GeoShield film, there's quite a few other brands with very similar adhesives. Roll that up. Spray, spray, spray. Peel. So one remedy that you can do is fix the glass, because it's not really the soap's problem. It's like the soap on the glass. You want a soap to bead. So the first thing I would do is increase the soap a little bit from where you're at. But if your ratio is right around an ounce per gallon, you're pretty well off. Push this out. Push that over. And then swipe. Swipe. So I'll show it on the drivers. There's all that. But you want your slip solution to sheet nice and even on the glass. That's going to help your tint to slide. So some soaps, they have a lot of what are called surfactants, and that helps them stick to things. The problem is too much of that gets in the way of the adhesive and the window. I feel like we could still make tint slip a little bit stronger, and it would be fine. But it is definitely by far the slickest slip solution. Like, for real. It disconnected. Okay, for whatever reason, TikTok disconnected again. It likes to do that right now. I don't know why. So we'll click that, and then reconnect, thank you. And then, wha-bam. So, I had more success with ice cubes in my keg. That's actually good, because you're keeping it cold. So, like, when your slip solution gets warm and sits, the soap, no matter what you're using, will start to separate. But we'll use the driver store as an example here. How's dish soap? Dish soap isn't really recommended if it's got degreasers in it. Baby shampoo is safer. Baby shampoo is a really mild soap. I was using baby shampoo for the longest time, but for whatever reason, Geo's just got a really tacky adhesive. And then what happened was, when I switched to Geo, baby shampoo just wasn't strong enough, and it didn't matter if I added more baby shampoo. It just, you put it on the window, and it would stick, like, really aggressively. So for a minute there, I used Dawn along with baby shampoo. So I used like 3 ounces of baby shampoo and an ounce of Dawn. But degreasers are not good for window films. So it wasn't really like a long-term solution. I didn't have any issues with it. But Geo came out with Tint Slip as a safe, extra boosted thing that they can recommend. So we'll razor this first and just make sure it's nice and clean. Is that a razor? Yes. Yeah, that's just a 1-inch razor blade. So right before I install my film, you can spray the window, and generally I find this out when I'm cleaning it. But this is fine. You see there's no like little drips here. The window is like evenly sheeting. So this should be fine. But for an example, I'll show you what torching is. So we'll get that out of the top edge so we don't burn the tint. That's for one. We're literally gonna grab a torch. And we're just gonna cook the surface. Don't keep it in any one spot for long at all. And just keep it a little shy of the panels, because like you just need the majority of it cooked. And then if you spray it, you should see your water evenly sheeting across the glass now. So that would be the first thing that I do to try and cure that. Because for whatever reason, when you get like a handful of years old, that's when you start getting into some weird stuff. What site would you recommend for pre-cut kits? The only site that I knew to recommend was Tint Zoom. You cut off, can you say it again? What part? Why people don't talk about the hand cramps? When you first start? I actually never had hand cramps when I first started, but the longer I've done it, there was like a point in the wintertime that I started getting some hand cramps. Like hand spasms. It's like, your like hand does something crazy and just like is locked in that position for a little while. I just got my car tinted at the top of the glass. It isn't clean. It isn't a clean cut in the top. Do I go back? Well, you're obviously not happy with it, so I would definitely bring it to their attention and say, hey, can you do a better job? Best tint company. I think GeoShield, man. They don't ever let me down. That's just not me personally, but the sheer amount of people in the community that have nothing but nice things to say about them is kind of unreal. Today was a 6th day and just rolled them down. I just noticed it. Yeah, well, it's not like they're gonna tell you not to roll them down for a few days so it has proper time to cure. But then after that, like, you pay attention to their guidelines and then you roll it down and the work isn't satisfactory, I would take it back, for sure. Be nice about it, and they should be nice and fix it. Any bulletproof tint out there? No, you can do some type of bullet resistance. Not proof, though. So there is security film, and for cars, like I've heard, especially in the Middle East, like 12 mil on the, it was like something on the outside, like 12 mil on the inside and like 4 or 8 mil on the outside did a pretty good job. But I don't think it's gonna make it completely bulletproof, but it'll definitely help a lot. Can you tell us what is proportion of soap and water? So I use 1 ounce of soap per gallon. TikTok just ended. Why did TikTok end? Oh, probably because I didn't get back to the... It's good that TikTok's so easy to reconnect. That's nice. Okay, so then we're gonna reconnect this. What soap do you use? Tint slip. This stuff right here. For the kits, Tint Zoom. That was the only one that I ever knew of that had decent kits, like that I actually could recommend. There's tons of kit sites out there. For mobile, what is a fair price for a sedan? Our mobile, most people don't see it this way, but mobile should have some type of a premium because you're usually going to somebody's house and tinting one car. So you have like travel fees in there as well. Wow. I unfollowed. That's okay. Thank you for the announcement. We will all be saddened to see you go. Yeah, 1 ounce per gallon is the ratio that I use. How do I go about tinting with a tight window trim? The way that I handle those, there is no simple way. It just makes the window more difficult. But you could either remove the bottom seal, or you can just cut your pattern a little slimmer. Both of those would definitely help. Do you ever do mobile tint? We're about to start offering it. Wonder if it's much more difficult. Yeah, it's way more difficult, but if you set it up right, I don't think tinting for like individual people at houses makes a ton of sense. It's setup work. You constantly have to figure out if they even have a place for you to tint, which most people do not have a garage. So unless you're like exclusively marketing to wealthy people with like a multi-car garage, you're running into a lot of challenges. The way that I suggest doing mobile tint is partner up with some other businesses, non-tinting businesses, and then they'll schedule work for you to do. Set up like 1 or 2 days a week for any one of those businesses. Like give them 1 day a week, see how they do, and if they fill up that day, give them a second day. They get a cut, but they also kept you busy, and you got to tint indoors somewhere and stay busy. So I think that's the best way to handle it. I don't see purely mobile. Like there's like very few edge case scenarios of like really, really successful mobile window tinters. All the really good sized tint companies, they have a shop. They scaled up a team. I do mobile as long as they have a garage, mostly plotter cuts. Yeah. So if you like handle it like that and it's some good kind of like supplemental money, if they don't have a garage, then they bring it to my home garage. Yeah. Yeah, so I would tend to just stay at the home garage. But it's just not very, it doesn't scale very easy. Do a 360 backflip. Why are you tinting the outside? Because we're weird. Hey. Smoky. Thank you. Was that a TikTok gift? I do mobile detailing too, so they come to me. Thank you. What brand of tint do you use? This is GeoShield. This is their C2 carbon. We're doing 5 in the back, 35 on the front doors, 50 on the windshield. Yeah, if you're doing mobile detailing, it makes sense to kind of add it to your services. Mobile detailing is going to be way easier, like just more labor intensive, but mobile detailing is going to be, it's going to make more sense to do that mobile because wind isn't really as big of a deal if you're a mobile tinter. So as a mobile detailer, but if you're mobile tinting too, the area that you're tinting matters a lot more. Main thing is just being indoors with at least a couple lights. What happened to speaking of that, where are my lights? I guess I'll use this one. I gotta send this one back to Chicago. But I think it'll work for now. Ooh, I like this one. This one doesn't really have much glare. Did you change a razor per window? Yeah, part of that is because I dropped them on the ground and couldn't find them anymore. 2-stage or bottom load? I 2-stage everything. I learned how to do that well before I even knew what bottom loading was. So we're just gonna trim this out. How do you clean your keg? You open it up, you empty it, you scrub it out. I only scrub it out as soap starts to build along the sidewalls, so it's really not that bad. So like rinse it out pretty much every day in the summertime. And then in the wintertime, like every other day. Maybe turn this off. There we go. Sweet. Where did my lights go? Oh, I think I put them up here. That makes sense. I was charging them. That's why I couldn't find it. You give me a lot of tips. I'm now a professional. Hell yeah. Do you shrink first, then cut? Yes. You can give yourself excess on the top and bottom, and then you cut it afterwards. So you give yourself some extra film to kind of pull on. And then if you burn the edge a little, you could always lift your tint, shift it, and try and continue. But it's especially easy to singe the edges, so leaving it just longer. And then after we trim it, I'll go over touch up the top and the bottom. And then we got a clay bar. So we're gonna go and clean the inside. What are we doing here? We're tinting. Why did you end the last live stream? I just ended, I don't know. Thank you, I appreciate it. I didn't end it. I was over at the other side of the car and the stream literally just stopped. So I don't know why. Some of this stuff just doesn't work consistently. So we have random glitches that seem to like just screw this up. So as much as I try and make it consistent, why didn't you cut the tint flush with the back window? What, is it not supposed to go here? It looks fine. All right, you guys are making me lose my train of thought. It looks good there. Wow, it's dark in here. Let's let some light in. Oops. Damn it. I gotta open this from the other side. Hang on. Why is this trash can? Did he stick it? I don't think I've ever seen that before. Oh, it's clipped. Oh, okay. Well, we'll just move that out of my way then. We gotta open this. Oh, there's some smells coming from that. Let me tell you. It's one of these. Why? I got two choices. One, I can try and hunt for some type of pick tool, which I'm pretty sure I used to leave it on my keys, so I don't know where it is. There's these push pins here, so we'll just leave that down. You left a 2-inch border along the edge. It looks great. I don't see any problem with this. It looks fantastic. 10 out of 10. Oh, we got one here. And then for good measure, this one. Yeah, right? Chat says it looks perfect. If one person in chat said that looks perfect, then by golly, I believe them. I'm thinking about this. I think what we'll have to do is this. So temporarily, we can do this. And then we're going to, are we good? No, is it not on? Give it 2 seconds. It's gotta wake up. There we go. It's gotta like wake up, grab a brush and put a little makeup or something like that. I'm gonna give a customer a shitty job and then tell them chat said it was good. That's fine. I mean, the customer is your major critic, so not me. Sitting in the hospital with my wife, we just had our first baby. Congrats, that's awesome. We just had a baby 3 weeks ago now. We were in there for a good 48 hours. Not too bad, but definitely got a little antsy to leave. Okay, so you guys can see this a little bit better, I'm going to sweep this off. And we'll do the whole thing. We'll do the whole carry into the back window. But cleaning and everything. Is it a girl or a boy? It's a baby girl. So I've got a 3.5-year-old son, and now we got a girl, and now we're done. It's enough babies for us. You missed a spot, bud.
We're left out in the Altima,
Mm.
which is now going off because I don't know where the key is.
Oh, thank you. Oh, wow, these are toasty. That makes sense. Okay, let me... There. What if your son becomes a tinter professional? I don't know, and good for him. I'll teach him if he wants to learn. He should learn. Like, the thing is, it's like you should have some type of skill set that you know you can make money off of. So if he currently doesn't have any skill sets, then I'd want him to at least have that. Okay, so we're spraying the window, and then I'm just gonna go over this with a clay bar. And once I'm done going over this with a clay bar, I'll show you why I like going over it with a clay bar. But I'll wet down the window, I'll use the clay bar. Use the clay bar just like a scrub pad and just get to where you can. We're still gonna squeegee it off. But I don't know if you can see how nasty that clay bar is. But that's pretty nasty. So now we're gonna sweep it off. We'll squeegee it from top to bottom here. So I would usually do this with the tint on the outside just for sheer convenience. But if you clean off the outside, you can at least see what you're working on a little bit better. My son will carry on business if he wants to. Nice. When my son comes in here, he seems to grab a shank. I don't know if he's plotting to kill me eventually, but he does grab and play with the tinting tool. It looks light. What? This is 5%. This is so dark. You should start doing pretty good at this. Just start doing a class. I'll think about it. We might do a class. Aren't we doing that right now, though? Okay. He does have class. What? This is crazy. What squeegees are you using to prep? We are peeling, we are spraying, and then we're gonna carry this in. There we go. All right, so I literally carry this. The goal is to not bump anything. And as long as you don't bump anything, you'll get a clean result. So I'm gonna place this as far down on the window as I can get it. And then we're going to make sure the bottom edge is flat. And we're gonna put some tint up on the glass, keep it shy of the headliner, and just shift it straight down the window. Right like that. And then push up. Once we clear the headliner, we can get the entire piece on. Doing it this way. Why don't you reverse roll? I was just getting into that. So the reason I don't reverse roll is because I learned how to do this way first. But the reason I keep I keep Frankensteining back windows is because it's quicker, easier, and honestly just overall cleaner for me on your average window, because you'll have stuff like third brake lights in the way, and I just don't like trying to work around that kind of stuff if I have to do a reverse roll. Frankenstein is like you can just slide it straight past any brake light. So they're way less bothersome that they're even there. Squeege. But on a windshield, we'll do a reverse roll. Windshield's wider, sometimes taller, and overall, just a lot, like I've never had a real good Frankenstein on a windshield. Where on a back window, look at this. Look at how nice that turned out. We get close here. See? So the awkward part about it is you just have to get used to, You just have to get used to handling it. So carrying it in, being able to juggle the film, that throws a lot of people off. That's the only way I knew how to tint from the early days. So next up we have the quarters, and then we got the windshield. So we got a couple more things left. Don't leave yet. Fun's not over. But for the sake of camera, we're gonna put this on. Click. What is it? This is what I'm using, by the way. So let's pop this off. You guys will go sideways for a second. Ta-da! Hey! Thank you. That was nice timing. Appreciate ya. Looks like TikTok disconnected again. Thank you to who sent me a gift? Just sent a gift. Thank you, Just. I appreciate you. Lumar, Expel, or Suntech? None. Geo. I'd pick GeoShield over all of them, and I have. If you're gonna do Lumar or Suntech, go with Lumar. Suntech, I don't know if their pricing is cheaper, but they're the same manufacturer, owned by the same company. It's just there's like sister brands. Lumar's gonna be the more prestigious brand, so it doesn't really make sense to then carry Suntech. And then Expel versus Lumar. I like a little bit more freedom, so I'd still be with Lumar. But then I don't necessarily like Lumar scratch coat, so and I'd also want to save some money. And then I'd go with GeoShield, which is why I'm with GeoShield. So like for now, all roads lead back there. It's like the only reason you're interested in any of those companies is just the branding. When you get in those companies, you really just have to leverage those brands. So you have to set up like a nice shop in a nice area and just try and leverage what kind of good marketing that they have and hope you can keep your prices up. Because we were a Lumar dealer and we were not selling Lumar for a whole lot of money. Oh, here it is. I was looking for these. What do you think about Johnson's window tint? I haven't seen Johnson's in a very long time. I have no idea. Johnson doesn't have much of a name. Their film might be fine, but I don't know where their pricing or naming or whatever kind of sits. Is Expel good? Yeah, they're good. You just gotta go in all on the exclusivity nature of it. I mean, a lot of people here asking like, hey, should I go with Expel or should I go with this? A lot of you guys aren't even gonna qualify to be an Expel dealer. Like they already expect you to be busy. You're definitely not starting out with them at this point. Same thing with Lumar. Like Lumar, you're not starting out with either. You're more likely to start out with something like SunTech, I guess. You're just going to be paying more for it. And what's the point? Is Avery good? I like their NR. I've seen some signs more recently that their NR seems to be failing, and they never had a good upgrade path, which is, again, why I went with Geo. So, like, what would be, like, an alternative? Geo, which is why I like them. But let's say you just didn't like Geo because I use it. That's fine. I would maybe want to try and go a different route, too, I guess. Nowadays, you have probably Edge from Autobahn, which means that you don't get the more notable Autobahn, but you might be able to grow up into being an Autobahn dealer as long as there's no Autobahn dealers within a certain territory. You have High Tech, which is very similar in what they're doing along with Geo, so not really territory focused, good films, competitive pricing, really good branding overall, and all in all, a pretty good company. And then after that, you just got a lot of like B and C and D tier companies that just like I don't know. There's nothing that really stands out. If we're gonna do it mobile, what brand would you go with? GeoShield. Like, I think you guys just want me to say something different. Like like getting asked like what brand of film. Like it's not that annoying, but I honestly wish that I could just say film instead of a brand specific thing, because then it turns into like a company debate and this and that, and there's good people in every company everywhere. I just agree with a lot more of what Geo does and the all around, like it's such a good fit. But that's for my business. That's not necessarily your business. So like if you've been in business for a while and you're in a really nice area, shit, you might want to leverage some really, really nice branding. And Geo has good branding overall, but you might want something a little bit more recognizable. And Geo isn't that yet. There's names that have been around for longer that just have a little more prestige. So, but that comes at usually at least $100 a roll. Like you're not getting the same pricing. There's no way. Even if you're exclusive to those companies, it's like, shit, dude. Any company with a territory, they gotta jack up rates on their territories because they only have so many territories. So then you're hoping that that company is doing enough notable things to get you customers, and then it just works out. What's good brand that's good quality to shit, man, I'm so done. I'm so done talking about it. Do you cut the tape on the outside edge or the inside edge? Ah, shit, I should have. See, this is what happens if you don't scrub it down and you just kind of like stick it on and wet it. You really need to make sure the glass is clean before you put it down. Is High Tech owned by Plotter Depot? I have problems with every single order I've made from Plotter Depot. Yikes. Yes, they are. So Plotter Depot was Tint Depot's way of selling global film past their territory. So they could white box it and sell it. But the problem is that it sounds like Home Depot. And there aren't as many shops that want to... You're not going to get a $100,000 a year shop that's ordering Home Depot sounding branded film. Like it's just not going to work that way. So that's why they came out with High Tech. Should we clean this board off? I feel like we might want to do that soon. What plotter do you use and what program? I use Core. I also use Film Cut. Core is a better program. Film Cut's cheaper, and for a little bit, it was kind of the best value. And it's still a good value. It's just, right now, Core is like $150 a month. So that's hard to argue with. And then, oh, what? It should be here. Quarter Pro, where are you? Oh my God. Is it gone? Did I leave it in the last car? Oh, that sucks. It's probably around here somewhere. We'll use this guy for now. I like my Quarter Pro a little better though. Turbos. Turbos are good. Used turbos for a long time. Quarter Pro's better. Can your students take videos and pictures during the training? Fuck yeah, you could live stream it if you want to. But no, you could definitely, like you wouldn't want to live stream it because then recording afterwards. Yeah, definitely. Oh, there it is. It was tucked in my belt. Why couldn't I find this? Yeah, you could definitely take pictures and video and record whatever. I had one student come in with a GoPro, and he used that most of the class. It's great, because then you have reference material. I'm a video place. Go nuts. Okay. I removed the dash cam off my tinted windshield, but there's residue over the mount. Is Goo Gone safe? I don't know. I don't know if Goo Gone is. You could take a little tint adhesive remover and put it on a rag, and then go over the glue, and that should take it off without harming the tint. Tint's usually got a pretty good scratch coat on it, where just taking like an all-purpose cleaner or even a tint adhesive remover, it's not going to soak through and remove the tint. So you should be fine with that. Yeah, I was going to glass aid this side. Or the other side, really. But if you want to do that, make sure you wipe it off and then dry it. Ideally, scrub it, though. Scrub it works a little bit better. Go off in the metal can? Yeah, I don't know. How'd the construction go? It went well. It seemed like it went on for way longer, even though it didn't go on. It was like a month. It felt like a year. But we got that flat glass wall over there, which is awesome. We got our loft and our spot. So we have a bunch of stuff up there now. It's great. All right, cool. So that's there. And we're going to cut this out. I'm trying to think of other, like, so another thing that works as an adhesive remover is LA's Totally Awesome. You can find that at like Home Depot or the dollar store. Even some glass cleaners could potentially take it off. You just got to find something that'll eat away at that glue. Oven cleaner, I think. I think oven cleaner is very similar to a lot of window film adhesive removers. So that tint you installed doesn't go under the gasket. All the doors definitely did. Harbor Freight flashlight. It's good. Any solvent to get on Amazon I've used for detailing a body shop. Or Acry solvent. I haven't heard of that one. But if it works, it works. Johnson's baby shampoo. I used to use that. Got it. Bubble, bubble, bubble. I was just scrolling and caught you saying something about adhesive remover, but Acry solvent. I've never heard of that before. Ta-da! What do you use now instead of baby shampoo? I use Tint Slip. Simple green. I've heard tint, or I can't talk. I've heard simple green quite a bit. I haven't had any success with it removing back window tint, but so this is what I use as a slip solution. For a tint adhesive remover, I mean ATR or tint strip, either one of these. Those are going to eat away at the glues. I've actually used tint strip to remove window film adhesive without disturbing the tint. That was on Apex. A student left tint on mine, and then like it was on the door window and it was left for a long time. And it actually took it off fine, which was really nice. So that's a thing. APC. Now we're getting into territory I'm way less familiar with. I'm assuming APC is the type of adhesive remover it is. How much would a rear corner window cost? I just got it taped up with Gorilla Tape. Well, if there's like a lot of glue on it, it would be more expensive. All right, we're gonna tuck a towel up here. A quarter window, like 25 bucks. But even if you had some adhesive on it, it'd be pretty quick to clean up and just tint. It's just a quarter window, unless it's a really big one. APC all-purpose cleaner. Oh, okay, I gotcha. I've sprayed a lot of stuff on tint adhesive that has done basically nothing, but you might just knock it off with some friction and some spray. It was just shattered and I was told to replace it with plexiglass. Oh, you can't tint plexiglass. Okay, dryer sheet on the windshield. Do you still use a soak rope over that? Depends. If I have extra space, then I'll usually put both. On this one, I have a little extra space so I could shove a rope in between there. I really don't have to on this one, so I'm just gonna stick with the towel, unless I open up this cabinet and just find my ropes. A lot of stuff kind of got misplaced and I forget to look for it. I got my towels in here. I don't know where my ropes are right now. How bad is the Walmart brand tint? It's not great. If you're gonna get any Walmart brand, just get the cheapest one. Save yourself a little bit of money. The carbon one is harder to see through, or the ceramic. The ceramic one is harder to see through and super hazy. I have a YouTube video on it. You ever use Ceramic Pro Tint? No, I've heard it's very blue. They called here wanting me to be a Ceramic Pro dealer. And then I said, I'm a GeoShield distributor. And they're like, oh, well, let us know if you change your mind. Like, hey, doesn't really make sense. I don't know what happened to Ceramic Pro, though. I thought they were going to go toe-to-toe. Does anybody know what happened with them? It's not that they're a small company, but if there was one company that I thought was going to be able to really compete with XPEL, I thought it was going to be them. Because like the way that XPEL really got into the window film market, like XPEL's not a window film manufacturer. They haven't been selling window film longer than GeoShield has. But they're way more talked about because they're experts at marketing. And they had a really good in. So they were kings of paint protection film and the software suite to go along with that. And there was a hole in the market. Window tinters were looking for a really good brand, and they didn't know quite who to go to. And also they were looking for a really good software. So like there were already some really good brands, but like XPEL just came in and did this like 1-2 punch with a really good software suite to make it easier, and then they backed it up with a really reputable film brand. They basically they didn't rebrand global, but they got it made at the same manufacturer at the time. And so they basically were just like, it's global with better branding. And they're like, oh shit, I guess I'll switch. And they were open to everybody. So anybody could buy XPEL. And then as they grew in market share, they started picking and choosing their dealers. So some people were able to get it, and then they grew their business for a couple of years, and then XPEL cut them out because they weren't big anymore, and they had other bigger businesses. So they slowly started to close down their network. And now they're a publicly traded company, so they are squeezing. They're squeezing their dealers. Just a little bit. Have you ever seen the removable tint ads? Yeah, they're hilarious. I don't know how to like frame this video, but there's a few different tint scams floating around. Have you ever used solar effects? No, but it's kind of like using GeoShield, except with a territory. So if you want a territory, then they might be worth looking into. But there's there's a couple different like removable. And they are, you've got static cling film, which is especially thick, rubbery, and not clear at all. The shit is just like blurry and hard to see through. So, and it's really soft. So it's really not gonna hold up either. And then the other thing that they do is they're actually taking pre-cut kits and they're tinting plexiglass and just selling it as a removable window tint, which is especially funny too. So I don't imagine that's gonna last very long either. And then I saw another ad. There was some obscure company that was like, pay us, we can get you a doctor's note. And I mean, they might have a medical exemption form that they could file on like your behalf, but they would have to get it cleared with an actual doctor, and I don't know. Seems pretty skeezy. But there were all of those. I still want to make a video about the removable acrylic window tint. Do you do classes? Yeah, we do classes. Is it possible to tint a cracked windshield? It is. It's not going to fix the crack. But yeah, you could definitely tint it. Oh my god, this is so... This is 50%. I miss my overhead diffuser. It makes it way harder to see this, especially with a white towel. Want to do 5% on my car. I want good quality. I'm from India. You have Guari. I don't know how you can buy it locally, but Guari is literally the one of the world's largest window film manufacturers, and they're in India. So I'd imagine there are lots of film companies there that are selling it. Their worldwide brand is global. So you're going to want to look into that. But I'm not from India, so that's the only info I got there. Would you turn away a cracked windshield? My tinter won't tint a cracked windshield. Why is he throwing money away? Of course I would. I would just give a disclaimer. You'd want to get your windshield fixed before I tint it because it's cracked, and you can just get a ticket for it, and you might be like required to actually replace it. But yeah, I'd absolutely tint it. I mean, it's kind of free money. I know there's like some people that have that opinion where they don't tint cracked windshields. It's just like, why not? It's not your car. It's like, I get doing like certain shades because you feel like it's too dark on a windshield, but shit, man. It's not your car. What's a good home spray to tint with? What do you mean? Like, what's a good spray? Window tint spray? What are your thoughts on Union? I haven't used Union, so I couldn't speak on them. Any tips on how to tint the back window? Yeah, watch everything we're doing on the windshield and then apply that to the back window. Homemade tint solution, dish soap and water. I wouldn't use a degreaser. Use baby shampoo instead. Unless your dish soap doesn't have degreasers, then it might be more okay. I've been watching your streams for a long time. I'm a fan. Greetings from Czech Republic. Thanks, man. Appreciate ya. What's the baby shampoo for? It's for cleaning babies. It's so there's no tears. So when you mess up a window, you don't cry. Are you ever gonna ship your products to the UK? If you could see my face, it's making an E sound.
Brother, what's that? What's that, brother?
Okay. The problem is just international everything. Shipping, customs, times, issues. So I did international for a little while, and part of it was in like 2020 and 2021. And so that definitely made them take extra long and be completely shitty. But what I hate is just everything about it is expensive. There's VAT charges. Like it's not a good experience. I either got to go straight through DHL and it's more expensive, and a lot of people are like, why is your shipping so expensive? Like, why do you live around the world? So I did it for a little while, and we just had a lot of problems. Like, we did everything on our end correctly, but if something takes too long, we start getting blamed. And then they want us to reship it, and then something gets hung up in customs, and people are like, hey, it's been 2 weeks, and there's still no update. And I'm like, well, wait, I hope, because they don't give me any customs updates. Nobody gets that. So unless you're like shipping bulk shipments over there, like shipping crates with lots of orders in them. It's like individual package shipping. Just like it works, but when you scale it up, it can become a huge pain. Because as soon as we lose that one order, then you have to ship like 2 or 3 to kind of recover from that order. And especially on an international one, you get eaten alive on the shipping alone. It sucks. It's my like, because if it was easy, we would do it. So it was frustrating. So many we didn't get a lot of international orders, and we just had a lot of pissed off people. Our pissed off people to international order ratio was quite high. And it's like, I don't want to just piss a bunch of people off. That's not the point. Does Guari or Lumar have 5% and cheap? 5 is orange. Blah, 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 blah. So Global definitely has 5, and so does Lumar. Yeah, they do. I can't. I was just trying to help you out. Yeah, expensive film is gonna look better because it's expensive. So couldn't tell you who to order from over there. Is Gila ceramic tint good for beginners? It's not good for anybody. Funny enough, it's owned by Eastman too. It was just very blue and very hazy. Go on my YouTube channel. I've got like videos on this stuff from a few years ago. I want to get my windows tinted by you, but I don't live anywhere near you. I'm in LA. Any tips for finding a good tinter? Honestly, just general reviews are probably the best thing to go off of. I don't know if he's in LA, but there was a Daniel Reyna. He owns Kats, Kats window tinting out in California. I don't know what area. That's the only California shop that comes to mind. Look him up. Yeah, why did this fall off? Huh. I wonder if this is like... This would help, because I can just remove this. It was just hanging here, so I don't know why it was just hanging off. But we don't need it there. Let's get unable to verify. Why are you... Oh, there we go. Ever tinted the rear glass on an 87 Monte Carlo? Yes. Yes, I have. Monte Carlos were pretty easy. I like them. Have you used Pro Film? Is that like the most professional film ever made? Because it's Pro. I just use DIY film. I'm not a tinter, bro. Is there a printer that can just print? Is there a machine that can just print the window tint? No. Definitely not. Is there a machine that I can charge the same amount and just make it easy on myself. No. Gavare. My robot voice said that really funny. He said Gavare. Makes it sound very exotic. Is paying $230 for tint a lot? How do I answer that? People ask questions with no context. How many cars do you do a day? I do a massive 1 or 2 cars in a day. Can we stop asking Google search questions? Google search is getting outdated. I wish, man. Oh, I can lower that a little bit. That helps. I have a question. What's your average time per car? Are the fog machines working? I believe so. They worked the first half of today. I think they're still working. I just set a minimum on TikTok. YouTube has like $1 minimum as well. I'm at 4 hours. So it depends on the car. If I'm doing a full car with a windshield, generally the time frame that I quote right now is gonna be about 4 hours. And then 3 hours for just the sides and the rear. Personally, I can tint faster than that. But if we're doing videos, live streams, spending time, and I'm trying to juggle some stuff, it's gonna take longer. So if you just put on some tunes, buckle down, and just get some tint done, I'm gonna shoot for a couple of hours for sides and rear, and up to 3 hours with a windshield. When I was tinting for other shops, I really didn't have longer than 2 hours to do a car. So you're always taking some shortcuts when you're speeding up like that. Doesn't mean the work's turning out bad. It's just you're just taking some shortcuts. It's usually we're not covering door panels, we're not taping seals. All that kind of stuff is nice to do. It does take extra time to do. My guy does a windshield in 30 minutes. Nice. I'm glad you have a guy. I guess the fog machines work. People trying to be fogging my windshield right now. What would be your cost to retint an 09 WRX all the way around? If it was removal, sides and rear would be $250. Plus whatever it costs to tint it. I told you. Thank you. I appreciate it. They actually work perfectly now. That's good. I guess we might have worked out all the bugs. They're trying to sabotage me. And get some good fog juice in there. That makes it turn out better. That was good timing. Your fog will live on. Have you ever shit your pants while tinting? No, actually, I haven't. But I'd be lying if, you're like Frankensteining a back window. And it's like the last thing you're doing or whatever, right before you deliver a car. It wasn't at my shop, though. It was at somebody else's shop. I take no responsibility. Have you ever messed up and had to redo? You must be new here. I mean, no, never. I find it hard to shrink the side windows using Expel. Bottom always gets overshrunk and doesn't lay. I mean, I haven't really... Let's get some fog here. Thank you. I haven't used Expel really, but Expel should be fine. I don't think that's an Expel issue. And I'm real open about it. If I thought it was a film problem, I'd tell you. Most problems from good film companies are installer issues. But I mean, if you've been using something else and then switch to them and they're having those problems, then that's definitely a different story. All right, on the roll. Good. Tuck this in here. Line this up. Then we're gonna use the pink clean. Start tacking it here. Make sure all my edges are covered, especially with the 50%. I mean, with any percent, but 50 is light, so it'd be really easy to tack my window and then not realize that I have a big gap. My back window's not this easy. Yeah, it is. You just gotta do it a lot. I mean, how do you prevent getting hairs? Man, I'll be honest, I don't know. Because I ran into that problem for a little while, where I was getting like a small like eyelash size hair. And I really went back to not changing much. I like tried to do a bunch of small different things, wipe it off better, this or that. And then they just kind of stop happening. So, I don't know. Maybe I lost all my eyebrows. Flat windows are easier than curvy windows? Oh, for sure. So like a Malibu windshield, yeah, it's very uncurved. But yesterday's windshield went the same. I still get small bubbles in areas even after cleaning it good. It's not your cleaning. It's your install. It could be a little bit of your cleaning, but it's usually the install. Some tinters say not to roll down the windows after tinting. Some say it's no problem. What's the difference? The difference is the confidence level of the tinter. Also, could be where you live. There is no universal rule. There's always going to be a little bit of moisture in between the film and the glass. Some films do take a little bit longer to dry out. So I would go by the guidelines of the shop, because if there is an issue, they're going to be the ones taking care of it. And some shops are just kind of stupid about those rules. Like my customer yesterday, we were checking the percentage, and he just rolled down the window right away because he thought I was going to put a meter over the top of the glass. But his windows were fine. I could roll these ones down right away. They'd be fine. There's still going to be a little bit of moisture, but it's advised. And also just because it's become such a norm. Two or 3 days in the summertime, up to a week in the wintertime. If you have a stubborn water pocket, chances are it's going to go away. It just might take longer. So I would just follow the shop guidelines. I was tinting a window last night, installing it. It started sticking and tacking way too quickly. I triple cleaned it. So it has nothing to do with the cleaning. It has everything to do with the amount of soap that you're using. If it's just sticking right on the window, first thing you're going to want to do is just add more soap, because that is going to help free up your tint to slide. Try that first. In Michigan, how much is that shop? This shop is $3,400 a month. It used to be $2,400 a month. Unfortunately, I am not great at timing markets. So it really, unfortunately, spiked up by quite a bit. So I didn't know how this place was going to work out. So in 2020, I signed a 2-year lease. Then fast forward, and things went, like market went, brr. No, it's $3,400, so $3,400 a month. It was $2,400 a month. 2-year lease. Then I asked, I was like, could I not be $3,400 a month? And he smiled at me with his veneers and sitting in his G-Wagon and was like, nope. And I'm like, well, he's got to pay for his G-Wagon. G-Wagon's got more expenses. Hey! Thank you. Holy crap, one bedroom, one bath is $3K a month over here in Cali. Yeah, because you're in Cali. It's like laughably expensive. And then they take 50%. How do you guys survive? That's why everybody's moving to Texas, at least. California makes no fucking sense. What was that? What was what? I didn't see anything. Do it at home. Yeah, no kidding. Hey, thank you. Four jobs and 3 streams of passive income. That's how you make it work. Yeah, I could see that. Question, is it worth it? I don't know where I could tell you to even move, though. I mean, I don't think I would have voluntarily moved to Michigan. I was just born here. And then we've entertained other states. I still would like to move. But then the longer you don't move, the more you kind of just set up roots here. But if we're going to move anywhere, it's going to be the Philippines. So then we'll deal with 100 degrees and humidity every day. There's questions you're not answering on this life. Like what? It's hard to keep up with everything. If you wait for me to stop talking and you time your question right. Like there's like a question every 10 seconds and then I talk for too long. What is the best way to heat shrink the film? Look up some videos. I know we're in a video right now, but I just heat shrunk everything. But look up how to dry shrink on YouTube and you'll find lots of videos that I did. I'm in Riverside, California. It's hot as hell. You're in California and you're still TikToking gifts? Bro, save your money. But thank you. What's the best towels for wiping your windshield? Something 300 GSM and up, and then also a waffle weave towel is good after that. But these things are pretty good overall. They just don't really leave streaks behind. And they don't really leave lots of little fibers behind either. These are 300 GSM Eagle edgeless microfiber towels. So like something better than the off-the-shelf, like the cheapest Walmart ones that just smear water. Walmart towels leave fibers. Yeah, because they're just like, they figure out the cheapest way to do everything. And they usually come with little consequences like that. The Costco ones are decent. I use those for the longest time. That's all these yellow ones. I used to only go get the Costco ones. These ones are a little bit more expensive. So I only really use these for cleaning the windows. If I have like dirty stuff that I'm wiping around, then I'm gonna use something else. Like the Costco one, something I just care less. We have these on 313tint.com, but you can also find bulk packs at the Rag Company. The Rag Company is a really good place to just get a shit ton of towels. Look at their wholesale bulk packs. You taught me how to tint, man, and I've made money doing it. Oh, sick. Oh, that's cool. I appreciate you. Does the outside temp affect the way the film shrinks? Everything affects the way the film shrinks. The film. First, we're gonna shrink the film. If it's humid and it's just hot, if anything, your tint's gonna stick more just because the air is really thick and shitty and. Where's my... Oh, God. Well, we put it down somewhere. I can find another one, but I might have just misplaced it or something. I don't know. Hey! Whoosh. Nice. There's a famous tenting brand in Dubai called Nanos. They use some state-of-the-art material that they developed in Stuttgart. Check them out. I'm going to forget about that in like 10 seconds. Oh, it's right here. What the heck? This is what I needed. Was that a... Sorry. Guys, we're just making everybody sick. Okay, so... Oh, there was a super chat. When was that? DC, I'm so sorry. DC Customs, thank you so much for the 5, and thank you so much for the 2. I'm sorry that went unnoticed. What are you streaming with right now? Have considered using the meta glasses. Meta glasses aren't going to last for more than a half an hour. They are really cool, and they take some good footage, but video clips aren't longer than a minute. And if you have them paired to your phone, which is really cool, anytime you get a phone call, they pause recording. So I had them. I thought they were cool. I returned them. They just need to be more content focused. And they're trying to be a little bit of everything. Oh, that's why. It just doesn't clip on here very well. That's why it was hanging off. Oh well, we'll get it close, and then I'll put the clip in there. I made my own. You can use this Insta360 Go. This isn't going to live stream, but for just recording videos. And then you can take a pair of actual glasses, and then little magnet, see? And then there you go. There's your better quality meta glasses. But if you want to live stream with POV, we're on an iPhone right now on a neck mount. I'm using the neck mount way more than I thought I would. I thought I just got it for an assist. Oh, what the fuck? There goes my ADD brain. Where's the clip? Oh, we'll find it. Oh, here it is. Ah, almost in the same spot that I put the other thing. How do you overcome the super curved rear windshield like newer Camrys? Camry is really not that bad. If you go to my Facebook group, window tint -313tint.com, and search Toyota Camry, I actually posted a video there. Who are your sponsors? The only sponsor that we have right now still is Plotter Depot and Tint Wiz. Just from like years back. I don't have anybody else though. We have a tool store. Hey! Thank you. Thoughts on the Osmo Pocket 3? It's one of the coolest, nicest looking cameras that you can get, like for the size and everything. You can stream off of it. It does track you as well. If you walk fast though, it's not going to be able to continue to track you. So if you kind of like stay in one spot and bobble back and forth a little bit, or you hold it, which is what you're supposed to do, then it'll track your face pretty well. Very, very cool camera. My wife got me one for my birthday. But if you want like a POV camera, the Osmo Action 4, I have that one too. Oh, it's so much better than a GoPro ever was. The quality on it, it actually looks like a camera. It doesn't look like a action cam. You can still do like super view and stuff like that, like really ultra wide, but it also has really good streaming. So I'd recommend either of those. So like it depends on what you're trying to film. If you're trying to film perspective, you need an action cam. And head mount. So I have like the, up here, I have the GoPro head mount. Took the top strap off of it. And then this is the Osmo Action 4. This camera is awesome. So if I was to do any POV stuff that was a little bit more thought out, I'd grab this. If I wanted something that was a little bit more impromptu, I'd wear my other glasses and I'd use that, just keep that in my pocket. How did you end up in such a nice shop? We built it. Hang on, let me wipe this off a little bit. Seizures for everybody. So this was just a nice wide open space. It wasn't fancy. And then we added to it as time went on. So we really expanded April? Like not long ago. Look at that. And it was, I'll tell you what, jumping into a shop. So I was a tinter for a long time. I didn't want a shop or all the scariness that comes with having a shop. But I wanted to continue to do live streams and videos and that kind of stuff. And it never really worked out doing that in other people's shops. Because there's too much to do, and they expect you to actually get work done, not film videos all day. So eventually, I went out on a limb. I started at a home garage, and then the city kicked me out of the home garage. And then if you go back on my channel, you'll see me tinting at the home garage, you'll see me tinting at the glass shop, you'll see kind of the growth into here. So a lot of live streams that were when this place was basically empty, and then trash would pile up in the back corners and stuff like that. And it was basically me tinting here for the longest time. The shop looks way different. I remember the space near the garage door being empty. Yes. Yeah, it was way different. But it was a good space. And then November, I got inspired to expand it out into here. We did cabinets, we did this cool setup, and then the flat glass wall for training classes and stuff like that. So, but we're a couple things. We are tinting cars, classes, and then we're also tint and tool distributor now. Going toe to toe with some of the best of them, honestly. If you go on Google right now and you search Tint Tools, we're like the first organic thing that pops up, which is pretty friggin' cool. But there's a lot of, I think there's a lot of missed opportunities. Like I always wondered why other tint companies or tool distributors didn't do something like this. So now we do. Or we have, and then grew into being a tool distributor. Yeah, doing classes, yeah, we do a lot. Whew. Oh my God. It got toasty in here. We almost got choked out from that. So we had to open the door, and now it got really hot in here. When will the next flat glass videos come out? Or when will the flat glass videos come out? Man, I gotta get used to making regular videos again, because that's a good question. We should start doing that kind of stuff. I make excuses. Had a baby, and then it was just like a lot growing into the space. So like the construction went on for a long time, and then we had just like a bunch of work. We had some busy classes right after we got this place built. And so really in the past, like, just had a baby. Really in the past week or two, I feel like we have just a little bit more time to start focusing on the normal stuff again. And then that's when especially going into like the fall and winter time, we'll be able to do some of those extra things because it always seems like, hey, I've got extra time, and then I start doing other things instead, and start adding to my plate. Are you business loaning, or is it all from profit? No, I took a small business loan. It's almost paid back. So we took an initial cash boost to really accelerate what was going on over there, and then it's nearly paid back. So that was a big help to it. What film brand do you use? GeoShield. All right, guys. I'm going to be back with another live stream soon. Friday. Friday we should have another live stream. So I'll be back then. So I'm going to hop off here for now. Thank you for all the super chats. So DC Customs for all that. Dez, and I don't know if it tells. How do I find out? How do I check on TikTok to see who sent gifts? But Dez sent a lot, especially before the stream broke itself. I blame him. He probably broke it. But I gotta hop off here. We're at in Detroit. Detroit Tint Studio, Sterling Heights. Learned a lot from watching you on YouTube. Appreciate it. It's nice to be able to stream on both now. So that's why we're vertical, YouTube and TikTok at the same time. But I'm gonna hop off here. Bye.